Hello everybody, this might be a quiet review, I don't know, but today is my Flash and Superman Lois review, episode 4 of season 7, Central City Strong, and season 1, episode 5, The Best of Smallville. Both the reviews, the time codes are on screen right now, and they're in the comments and in the description. There's no way if you wanted to just watch the Flash or the Superman Lois, you could avoid spoilers. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's roll that intro. I'm rambling. And this episode starts off with Barry and Iris together in their apartment, and Barry keeps. We find out throughout the past week he's been doing all this nice stuff for Iris because he feels he feels bad that he didn't know that the Mirrorverse clone was Iris. But then if we look out their window, we saw lightning from the new forces. I think red is strength force. Yeah, strength force is red. So maybe that could have been striking someone we meet later in the episode. But anyway, we see that Team Flash is partaking in the Central City Strong activity. But then the Flash goes to talk on TV, which this was very weird because I'm sorry, I just moved my hoodie that's on me. Flash goes on TV, but he doesn't blur his face. He doesn't do the voice thing where he can like shake his voice. I can't do it. I'm not a speedster. But he believes in the city that we can do it better. He does inspirational stuff. He's the Flash man. But basically, yeah, that's really what he said. But when they were working on the construction site, Caitlin is talking to Cisco and Chester about how she has a headache and stuff. And then Allegra has to leave because she has to go talk to Iris. And when she does talk to Iris, Iris is writing a story about the Mirrorverse. And Iris wants Allegra to proofread it, and Allegra's like, "This is trash, man. You don't even have to check if what this dude was saying factually, and you were in the Mirrorverse for 3 months, which is wrong based off timeline. It was around 2 months, but anyway, Allegra's like, "This is trash. Why don't you write about your experience in the Mirrorverse? You were in there for a couple months." And Allegra's making some good points, man. But then there's this one person at night who's working at night in a construction zone, man. I don't think it's security, but then Abracadabra appears and he play cards him. What I mean by that is out of his wands he shoots a bunch of playing cards. But then he strings something down with his wand, which later they call it an obelisk. Which could be like weird because we have those silver obelisks from like the end of last year. But anyway, and then we found out that obelisk is really heavy actually. But then CCPD comes there and we do the crime investigation, and we found out Broski, who got carded, has a bunch of playing cards in him. Like they cut him. So they figure out it's Abracadabra. But anyway, Iris goes to watch a Mirrorverse support group for people who were in the Mirrorverse, and I really enjoyed this. It was good scenes. But then Iris wants to interview this dude, and this dude like kind of turns the tables, and Iris didn't like that. So by the end, she just walks away. She doesn't even interview him, man. But they get root on where Abracadabra will be next, and then Flash stops him and everything. But then Abracadabra's there, and he mentions something with like, it makes this k sound like cobra or something. I don't know. I know it comes from Abracadabra's time, but he also mentions Vibe as Mecha Vibe, which is probably what he will be called in the future. But when he does mention like the Cobra or whatever, he says the Flash would be interested in the future very soon. Will be interested with them in the future, which it sounds like from later in the episode that will be very soon. But Argus takes away Abracadabra and Vibe. The dude who Vibe was talking to, the dude like the director, I bet he was fake. Like Abracadabra made him, but then Abracadabra escapes when he's at Argus. Conveniently, all three of the obelisks are at Argus, but then Flash tries to stop, and this was cool. He gets put in like a metal rubber band that tightens the more you try to escape. So why don't you just like stand still and then get out of it? I don't know. Maybe that's not how it works. I don't know. I'm not from the 46th century like Abracadabra is, but then he's creating a ball filled with crisis energy, but we don't learn that yet. So then Barry goes back to Star Labs and he's talking to Iris, and this is the time when he says that he feels bad for not knowing that the mirror Iris was not actually Iris, which I bet you would, but that episode aired over a year ago, man. No, it didn't. I think it maybe. But anyway, this scene was great. Most of this scene was great. All these episodes, this episode was great, man. But then, Cisco finds out that, Abracadabra was using the ring from, the Green Arrow and Canaries episode of Arrow that, if you don't remember it, Laurel went into the future, and with the ring that had Martian Manhunter's powers, she, gave Mia her memories back, and I wasn't expecting a Laurel Lance and Mia Smoke name drop, but it's welcomed. Show's not getting picked up, but it's welcomed. But wasn't that stolen in that episode too? I don't know how they got that. Abracadabra says it was in the Flash Museum, but anyway, sorry, rambling. Abracadabra is making the ball that's filled with crisis energy, and Flash comes and he can like project what's in the ring, like the memories. So we see Abracadabra's memories from pre-crisis where he had a family and stuff, and Abracadabra's like, no, you can't do this. You're responsible. You're the one who like changed time, and and Barry explains it wasn't me and stuff, and I really like their dynamic. They kind of bond when Barry says, I lost someone in that crisis too, and he talks about how he lost Oliver, which was, that was good. That was nice. Reminder of Oliver. They need to bring Stephen Amell back for a cameo in like a vision, but anyway, Abracadabra and Flash talk, but then, there's a big earthquake again. I don't know what sound I was making, man. I'm not a dinosaur, but I promise you I'm not a dinosaur. But then this giant thing comes in and smashes up the ground. And this is obviously someone affected by the strength force or the yellow lightning. But I found the CGI, it was good for like network television, but it wasn't like Zack Snyder's Justice League. But then this person absorbs the crisis energy, which nobody else could do. It's crisis energy that destroys multiverses. But then Abracadabra dies, or Philip, as we know his name now is, which Abracadabra dies. That's so stupid, man. I know he's a time traveler, which we can see other versions of him from past hymns, but come on, Abracadabra. I know he got a redemption, so he has to die like every other villain, but that was kind of stupid. But anyway, Flash fights this dude. It's fine. Uh, it's free. It's fine. But Abracadabra dying is so stupid, man. Even when they had a good relationship, now, man, kind of sucked. It didn't. It didn't kind of. It was a major suck. But then Iris is. What is Iris doing? Iris is at the Mirrorverse meeting for people who were stuck in the Mirrorverse, and she talks about her experience being stuck in there for like 2 months, based off my timeline, and people clap. Good. Uh, I don't know. This is one of the best Iris scenes. A lot of the time you find Iris annoying. I didn't really hear. She was just a good character for once. But then we find out Cisco plays Fortnite, which great joke in 2021 Flash writers. Great joke. But then Caitlin comes to Cisco and says that her headache is gone and we have another problem. And I don't think any of us were expecting this, man. But then, as Caitlin's standing there, Frost stands next to Caitlin, showing that they have separated, and Frost and Caitlin are two separate people now. Which I don't know how that's gonna work, because Frost, she said early in the episode that the GCPD has a warrant out for her, but I don't know how that's gonna work. But dang, that's a good cliffhanger. Here we are for my Superman Lois review. We watch Clark on the TV with the boys. He's saving the world because of the Harvest Fest. He wants to get everything done that he needs to so he can spend as much time in his favorite thing as in Smallville. But so then we see him plucking up the corn with his powers, like grabbing a bunch. And early in this episode, like within the first minute, we learn that Jonathan's girlfriend, Eliza, I think the name is coming to Smallville that day for the harvest. And Jordan and Jonathan are picking corn, which looks like a boring job. I am from the Midwest, but I've never had to pick corn. I've never had to pick anything, man. But Jordan just stays there, and there's some fun banter, and Clark talks about chocolate bacon or something. But anyway, Jordan and Jonathan are in school, and Jonathan gets a call from Eliza saying that they're gonna break up. So this is really convenient for Jonathan, but Jonathan goes out with a date with Lana's daughter. I can't remember her name, Sarah, for the Harvest Festival. But then we find this dude talking. It's Captain Luthor's companion bot, or it's basically been leaked. Alex Luthor, his name is. He's not going by Lex, but Alex is stalking Lois, to be honest. But then we say Lana is running the food drive that for the harvest, and Derek Powell is there in the flesh from New Carthage, which is in, but Derek is having some hard time. He has a headache, you can see, and then his eyes start to go red. And then he uses heat vision and starts the whole room on fire. Now I'm really interested how these people are getting Kryptonian powers. It can't just be from the kryptonite that we found at the end of last episode. But anyway, maybe it has New Carthage. Whatever. Lana's husband Kyle, the fireman, goes into the building to save, and Clark just speeds in. Like, nobody saw Clark speed in, really. That's really convenient. And then he doesn't have enough time to change into Superman. He just runs in as Clark and puts out the fire in the building. And the firemen are real confused about why everything was frozen now after it was all fire. And I think Kyle's gonna have his suspicions now about Superman. Not that it'll be Clark, but that he's somewhere closer than Kyle thinks. But anyway, Jordan is with Sarah, and Jonathan is drunk now. We're at the fair, the festival, and Jonathan is making fun of Jordan about how this is his first date ever, and they like fight But then Clark and Lois come up and they're like, "You're drunk. I'm very disappointed. How dare you?" Blah 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 blah. But anyway, blah 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 blah. Seriously, blah 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 blah. Not blah blah blah. It was important. Like, really. Oh, that also shows that Jonathan can't have Superman's powers because he got drunk. But anyway, Chrissy Belbo calls Lois Lane because earlier in the episode she found Derek Powell and Morgan Edge's assistant, who was the one with powers that killed the dude who Superman was fighting in episode 3, making out. And then they had a Frankenstein's monster machine, as Chrissy Bobo calls it. And then they tell the location. Superman busts through the ceiling. Like, man, somebody's gonna have to repair that. I know that's your like signature thing and it looks super cool, but seriously. And then they have a flying fight and they just fly throughout Kansas in Smallville, which is just corn. But then Captain Luthor is following them, and they see, and he sees them, so he stops and grabs a weapon from the back of whatever vehicle he's driving. I don't know if it's like a transformed ship or anything, or it's just an RV that's been fitted for his uses. But anyway, Captain Luthor has the rocket launcher and he shoots it, and we see it go off from the carnival, which was kind of really cool. It's cool. I feel like I could draw Smallville pretty good. I don't know. But then we see Derek Powell kind of self-destruct because it was his own will being that he destructed himself. He blew up because he wanted to. But anyway, throughout this episode, we see Clark having flashbacks to when he was a teenager. I think 16, because it was a year after Jonathan died. But anyway, we see his first time stopping crime, and he's in a beanie and a ski mask or whatever. But they shoot him, and he like just slaps a bullet. That was hilarious, man. He slaps the bullet. Goes into the wood. He slaps it. But anyway, then he comes back and fights with Martha. Why did you say that name? No, I'm just kidding. And Martha gives him a crystal that came in the pod that Clark had been delivered in. Not delivered, that they found him in from Krypton. And you can suppose he's going to take this crystal to the Fortress of Solitude to learn more about his heritage, which they covered in the episode Heritage, episode 2. Oh my god. But then, we see that Martha and Clark are sitting on the bench, and Clark walks away. And then, right after this, we learn that Clark regrets this moment because it was the moment he finally left Smallville, and it was the moment he didn't have as much time with his mom, which he wished he did in the future, which was kind of sad. But then that bench was dedicated to Martha Kent during the festival because Martha Kent was a great person in the community or something. But then we find out the reason why Alex Luthor is stalking Lois, and the reason is well, his little droid says, "What's so different about Lois on this Earth?" And Alex says, "Nothing. Everything's the same except one thing. One major difference." And that major difference is that on this Earth she's Lois Lane Kent, but on Alex's Earth she's Lois Lane Luthor. Lex Luthor's wife is Lois Lane on the Earth that he comes from. Now that, I like that. Man, I don't think Alex is a true villain. But anyway, Jordan's walking home from Sarah's house after he got friend-zoned and apologized. But anyway, then this speeding bullet comes and, like, knocks him out, and, not knocks him out, but, like, grabs into the trail, and then, Tag, we find out it's Tag from the last episode, Jonathan's friend, and he's asking, "What did you do to me?" Because Jordan exposed his powers to Tag. But anyway, that is my Superman Lois. that is my Superman, Lois, and Flash review for this week. I thought they both were really good episodes. Better than both of last week's episodes from each series. And I think tomorrow, Thursday, we have a all DCEU films ranking. And if you get this far, can you just comment like abracadabra or something? I don't know, or just like comment your Subway sandwich or like just like a sandwich you get at a sandwich store. Comment your sandwich order, yeah, if you get this far. But anyway, I'm rambling. I'll get you time to leave the video, and goodbye.